Hello and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be doing a historical romance book haul. Now, when I'm filming this, it is December 10th, so I am wearing my Taylor Swift cardigan, the folklore one, because today she has once again announced that she is dropping another album called Evermore. So I am so excited. I can barely even comprehend it. I am going to listen to the album tonight, watch the new music video for the song is called Willow, I believe. I'm just so astounded. It's going to be so much fun. But Taylor Swift aside, let's get into this historical romance book haul. Now, all but one of these were bought at half-priced books. I think all in the clearance section. I just got so excited to get some new books. I haven't bought a lot of books in quite a while, so I may have went a little overboard, but it's okay. Right now, I don't have literally anywhere to put them. My shelves are full and I just have piles of books on the floor, but it's fine. I'm hoping to do a reorganization in the new year, so they totally don't regret any of these purchases. It's fine. So let's get into the book haul. First is My Fake Rake by Eva Lee. I actually just finished this week and absolutely adored it. I listened on audio and followed along. I actually didn't buy this book until I was like halfway through the audiobook when I found it at Half Price Books, and I was like, I really like it so far, I'm just gonna buy a copy. Totally worth it. I absolutely adored this book. It is about Lady Grace Wyatt and Sebastian Holloway, and they are both scientists. She studies amphibians, he is an anthropologist studying cultures, and they've always just been friends, but they also have always sort of secretly liked each other, but no one's ever said anything about it. And she pulls him into this scheme to pretend to be a rake, sort of like this bachelor type, like rogue kind of man, so he can pretend to be interested in her, and so she can get the attention of this other guy who is, I think, a biologist or something that she really likes, and she wants to marry him. And in the process of them coming up with this scheme and pretending to have this like whirlwind romance, they actually fall in love, and it is just the absolute sweetest. The characters are so strong and so entertaining. The ending was adorable. It was so cheesy in a way, but I really, really loved it. So this got a 5 out of 5 stars for me, and I am actually so glad that I bought it. Next, this is the one that I didn't get at Half Price Books. This was gifted to me. This is The Devil of Downtown by Joanna Shoup. It was given to me by one of my very lovely Bookstagram friends, Kim. I am so happy I got a copy of this. This completes my Uptown Girls trilogy. I have read this one as well. I think this is my favorite of the trilogy. I'm not sure. I love them all. This sister I like the most, so I really, really liked her story and her falling in love with Jack Mulligan. This is about the youngest sister in this trio of sisters. She is the quiet one. She's always just really cared about helping other people. She works with this charity in like the poor part of town, and she comes in contact with Jack Mulligan, who is the sort of crime lord of this town of New York, and she gets him to help her, and they fall in love in the process, and it is just such a good book. I absolutely love it. Next are 2 more books from Half Price Books, and these actually go together, and that is Duchess by Design and Some Like It Scandalous, both by Maya Rodell. I picked these up separately, not even realizing that they went together, but on the backs of both it mentions Gilded Age New York, and that was enough for me to pick it up because I loved the Uptown Girls series, which does take place in Gilded Age New York, and decided I wanted to read more books in that time period. And so I picked both of these up, and then when I got home and I was looking through what I got, I'm like, oh, these literally are part of the same series, which is great. I don't know which one is first, if I'm being honest. It doesn't matter. But I am so excited to read these. So in Some Like It Scandalous, Daisy Swan is the heroine, is a scientist who is using science to create her own cosmetics line, and she wants to become a businesswoman, but it's Gilded Age New York and she's sort of constrained by the times. She looks to get help from Theodore Prescott III. He's a Manhattan rogue of Millionaire Row. So she's looking for help, maybe investment or maybe a husband, so she can do what she wants and not be a single woman. But I am so excited. This sounds so interesting. She sounds like a really interesting character to have this business aspect to it of cosmetics of all things. Like that's not something I would have ever thought I wanted to read on my own, but like now that I hear it, I'm like, that sounds really cool. So very excited to give this one a try. The other in the series, Duchess by Design, she is Miss Adeline Black and she aspires to be a fashionable dressmaker, not a duchess. So this will follow her as she also pursues her own career, which I really like between these two. They're very much about the heroine pursuing some sort of career, which is really interesting. And the hero in this story is Brandon Fiennes, the Duke of Kingston, and he's a rogue determined to do the right thing. So I am very excited to pick this one up as well. I think the Gilded Age New York setting is just so much fun, and I like how independent these heroines seem to be. Next, I got It's Getting Scott in Here by Suzanne Enoch. I've heard such amazing things about this author that I decided I just wanted to give her a try, and I mean, we love a pun, am I right? So I am very excited to give this a try. I don't entirely know what it's about, if I'm being honest. London socialite Amelia Rose Baxter is nobody's fool. Her parents want her to marry and get a title, and she doesn't want to. She wants someone who actually loves her. So that is where Highlander Niall McTaggart comes in, and he is going to become the love interest in the story, and I'm sure he's not exactly what her parents imagined, so there will be conflict in that. But I am very excited. This just looks really just like a fun read. It's pretty, well, I guess it's pretty average, like 350 pages. But it looks really fun, and I liked the cover. It made me laugh, and the title was funny, and I just think it'll be a fun read. Next, this was an author by. This is the Highland Earl by Amy Drecke. I have read one of Amy Drecke's before, so when I saw this, I was like, it's on clearance for $2, I have to buy it. I really enjoyed The Highland Guardian by her. I read that like 2 years ago now, but I have one other of her books that I really want to read, and this one now that I really want to read. So this is about Evelyn. She has no desire to wed the rugged Scottish Earl, but she is going to anyway, and she'll continue to be a spy, and that was enough to really hook me if the author didn't already. So I'm guessing she's an English spy, spying on the Scottish as she is his wife, and I think that'll be a super intriguing book, especially if that fact comes out towards the end and it's like a big conflict. I think it'll be really interesting because it's different than like the normal like miscommunication twist at the end. I think it'll be really interesting to involve like politics and stuff like that. At least I think that's where it's going. So I'm very excited to try this one. Next is quite an old book, and that is Someone to Watch Over Me by Lisa Kleypas. Now, I've read Lisa Kleypas before. I read Dreaming of You, I think, and that's one with Derek Craven, right? And I really, really loved it. Like, she is a phenomenal writer. So I wanted to try another Lisa Kleypas, and I have heard a lot of incredible things about this one. Despite, I despise this cover, but I've heard a lot of really good things about this book. Everyone who really likes Lisa Kleypas is always recommending this one, so I thought I would give it a try. It is an older book. I am excited to, I think I'm going to do like a 90s romance reading vlog sometime soon, and this will be one of them because I think this came out in 98. Let's see. And yeah, in 98. So I'm excited to give it a try. I'm a little hesitant at the summary. It is about a woman who she thinks her name is Vivian Rose Duval. She woke up with amnesia, can't remember her life, and Grant Morgan is helping her figure out who she is. He says that you're this Vivian girl, and it's their love story, I presume. I'm not sure how I feel about the amnesia plotline, that trope. I don't think I've read it before, but I also don't know if I like it. So and it just doesn't appeal to me right away. But that being said, there's enough people saying this is a really, really good book that I'm willing to give it a try. And who knows, maybe I'll absolutely fall in love with it and want to read all the amnesia trope books there are. Next is The Duke's Stolen Bride by Sophie Jordan. I am very excited to read this. This is about Marion Langley, and I read the first sentence on here and I was like, I'm sold. She says, to save her impoverished family, Marion Langley will become a mistress. But she will not become just any mistress. Marion intends to become so skilled, so coveted, that she can set her own terms, retaining control over her body and her fate. Only one problem remains, finding a tutor. And that was the whole paragraph, not a sentence, sorry. But I was just so intrigued by that. That sounds like such a unique idea. You don't often see that type of woman in a historical romance. You see a lot of wallflowers, or like the blue stocking girl who likes her studies, or you'll see like fiery, strong women, but I've never seen one where like she wants to be a mistress because she, you know, wants to have that life for herself. And I think that would be such an interesting plot line. I think she's going to be a really strong character, and I'm guessing she's going to fall in love with the quote-unquote tutor she finds. So I am very excited to give this a try. And I also, I'm not going to lie, the cover was a big influence in this purchase. So I'm very excited to read this, hopefully soon. Lastly, this is also a trilogy that I found. There might be more, but these all go together. And it is part of the series The Lady Traveler's Guides by Victoria Alexander. So first, The Lady Traveler's Guides to Scoundrels and Other Gentlemen. And this one has a beautiful step back. This book takes place in Paris. It is one of the longer historicals I have ever seen, to be completely honest. Like, it is 530 pages, so it's quite long, but it looks really interesting. It's about the heroine, India Prendergast, and the hero is Derek Saunders. He is going with his aunt, because his aunt is like this traveler. She travels with women who cannot travel on their own because of the times. And they go to famous cities and just, you know, travel. And he goes with his aunt, and on this trip meets the heroine, India, and they, you know, start to fall in love in the most romantic city on earth of Paris. So I'm very excited. I think it'll be really interesting to have these sort of destination books. One of the books I read, I think one of the Joanna Shute books I read, I want to say The Harlot Countess, if I'm remembering right, had a section in Paris, which I thought was so interesting. I think it's a really fun atmosphere to read a historical romance in, so I am very excited to give this a try. The next one I got in this series is The Lady Traveler's Guide to Deception with an Unlikely Earl. And this one, this step back, oh my god. So I've been to Half Price Books, this is 2 trips. And the first time I picked this up and I put it back and I was like, oh no, I don't need it right now. But then the second time I went, I had to get it because this step back, like literally, I don't know what it is, but it gets me. The pyramids of Egypt in the background, for some reason it lights something up in my brain, and I absolutely love it. So this is about Harry Armstrong is the hero. He's been in Egypt doing anthropology for years and studying all the different artifacts that they recover. And now Miss Sydney Honeywell is the famous Queen of the Desert. London newspapers and such have been writing about her, how she is this anthropologist just like others are. But none of it's real, apparently. So she didn't really mean to trick everyone into thinking she'd done all this, but she did, and everyone thinks all her stories are true when they're not. So somehow they come to meet each other in Egypt when she is with the Lady Traveler Society, and they meet and they fall in love. And I think it sounds like so much fun, and honestly, I just really love Egyptian stuff after I read How to Dance with a Duke. So I'm very excited to give this one a try. I hope that it is kind of somewhere akin to that. I think it'll be really interesting. And again, I have to say, the step back, I mean, look at it. It's just so gorgeous. I love it so much. Lastly, I got The Lady Traveler's Guide to Larceny with a Dashing Stranger. And this one also has quite a pretty step back. This is in Venice, if I believe. This is another really long one, like 530 pages. Apparently, she just writes pretty long books. But this is about Lady Wilhelmina. I hope she has a shorter name than that, or it's way too many letters. And she goes to Venice to retrieve a family treasure, a Renaissance painting, and she meets Dante Augustus Montague, and he also wants the painting, so that is what the conflict will be. But they meet in Venice with the Lady Traveller Society, and I'm very excited to learn more about Venice. I don't know a lot, unless you count the Vampires in Venice episode of Doctor Who, so I am excited to give this a try and learn more about the history and the art, and just see these two characters fall in love. So that is my historical romance book haul. It's not too many. I didn't do too bad. I didn't like completely dent my bank account. These were all $2, so it wasn't bad. But I am so excited to get to some of these. There are definitely some that are at the top of my list in my January TBR. I think these will all be a lot of really fun books, and honestly, all I've been wanting to read lately is historical romances, so I'm having a lot of fun starting to collect them and starting to really fall in love with the genre. So I hope you enjoyed this book haul, and I hope you come back to my channel. My plans in December are uploading Wednesdays and Sundays. That might go into January as well, but typically I upload every Sunday with some bonus videos every so often. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, share, subscribe, and all that fun stuff, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye!